Lucky number 13 in the books. Great work day. Guys did a great job with their competitive maturity, competitive spirit, emotional maturity of having a really productive work day. A lot of situational football. Have announced our starting quarterback. As you guys know, Denny's done an unbelievable job coming in since day one, working, earning the respect of the team. Bert did a heck of a job competing as well. They're both great men with great character and have done an unbelievable job being great teammates to each other and to everyone. Excited about, obviously Denny getting the nod, and he's earned that opportunity, and excited about the opportunity and the plays that I know that Bert is going to make as well. As we all know, there's a real critical importance to have really, really high ceiling of talent within the building, but also a depth of talent as well. And so feel very spoiled to have those two guys that are both very, very talented, that are going to make impactful plays for our team. And excited for everyone to get a chance to see it live and in color tomorrow at Snapdragon for FanFest. So hoping the community shows up and shows out, and we get to have a whole dress rehearsal as a great city of San Diego for an amazing fall that's going to come here for the Aztecs on the Mesa.
How close was the competition, and what pushed Jayden over the edge to get that nod?
Yeah, I mean, the guys battled. They competed really, really well. Ultimately it came down to the confidence that Jayden created for our offense and his efficiency within operating in the system. And, but again, Bert's going to do a heck of a job for us as well. He's only one snap away, and he's a tremendous quarterback in his own right as well. And, again, we'll find a way to put our best playmakers on the field collectively together. Great competition, and it made everyone in the whole program significantly better because of the way that they competed, but more importantly, the maturity that they showed while they competed and the way that they supported and encouraged one another as they went through that whole process.
When you brought Jayden in, I imagine you did it kind of with this sort of thing in mind. What had you seen, and what did he then exhibit on this field, aside from what you just mentioned, to solidify himself?
Yeah, I mean, every day, right, he was the same person, the way that he showed up, the way that he approached his work. I was very impressed from day one when he came in, right, just about how he put his head down and he went to work and, didn't do it in a very boastful way, but by doing it in that way. And Bert, in the same manner, right, earned the respect of their teammates, and became a part of the locker room. And then ultimately there was probably a pivot that occurred tail end of spring and throughout the course of the summer where, just getting feedback from, the guys on the team, that the leadership that Jayden had exhibited and, the way that he showed up from day one and all the way through, and then really through this third quarter of camp, the consistency and the efficiency and the production, when he's got the ball in his hands and he's leading and driving the offense, ultimately led us to this place that where we're at. And, now we got to go do the next thing the right way. So congratulations. Everyone knows that you're the starter. So what now what, right? There's still a heck of a lot more work to do on this climb and a lot more steps that need to be taken for us to get to ultimately where we can go, as a program and as an offense and for him individually.
What's the format going to be like for FanFest? Is it going to be a similar to game type situation?
Yeah, we're gonna put the ball down and we're gonna play. So we're gonna have 4 quarters of play. We're gonna simulate all kinds of different positions, situations, and we want it to feel as much like kind of a second NFL preseason game, if you will, right? So it's gonna be football. It ain't gonna be dodgeball. It's gonna be football. So everyone who wanted to see that in the spring, come one, come all. Tell your friends. Let's get this thing rolling at Snapdragon on Thursday.
With Jayden being named the starter, how much are those other quarterbacks going to see reps?
Everyone's going to play. Everyone who's been participating and working like crazy is going to play, right? So you get a chance to see everyone go, and like a number 2 NFL preseason game, right? Like Jayden will start it a little bit, and then as we move through the evening, we'll probably put him on ice and let the other guys go so that we can continue to get a body of work and, evidence on tape of exactly where we are, because obviously this is one important decision, but it's one decision amongst a lot of decisions that have to be made here over the course of the work that still needs to be done today and obviously tomorrow and then the last week of camp, so that we can all figure out, okay, who's on the bus and what seat are they sitting and what role do they play. And just because it starts that way, don't let that role define you, because that's what your role is for week 1, right? Like the great teams, they continue to get better, they continue to develop. And so, again, we've been talking about this climb, and it's one step at a time, right? Like today's day 206, but it's really when we woke up this morning, like the leisure was 0, and it's either going to be a +1 or a -1 day. And the work that we just did, it was a +1 day. And now we got to go do, again, the next thing the right way to our standard. And tomorrow's an important piece of that, but it's important because we're doing it, not because of any other reason, right? Like these guys are literally exchanging their lives and exchanging their time to do this. And so it's really critically important that we do it the right way.
Player transfer. Sorry.
When a player transfers from a program like Michigan, do you notice any advantages or disadvantages coming from a level like that when they come to San Diego State?
No. I can't say too much about that. My wife's a Wolverine, so if I give you too many good things about that, she's going to run with that. And most Wolverines are hubris as is. So no. I mean, but Jayden was older, right? I mean, I would say this about the majority of the older guys that we brought in, right, regardless of where they came from, whether it be Jayden or whether it be Josiah Cox or Christian Washington or Byron Cardwell, or Kalen Ellis, right? And they're older guys, so they're more developed, right? And so that was really important for us as we, constructed the roster, which is a year after year deal, to make sure that, again, you have the quality of talent at the top, to have enough numbers of capable starters that can make impactful plays, but then you also have the depth of talent, and you don't have classes that are stacked too heavy. So then, okay, hey, we have a good year, but it's a flash in the pan because you were top heavy in this position group. You got to have the distribution of the talent as well. So, the majority of the guys that we brought in were older, they're more developed, and there's probably not only the physical maturation with that, but then there's the emotional and competitive maturation that they have because they've gone through and been a part of extended seasons, right? I guess going back to Jayden in particular, right? He's the only player on our team that has felt the full season of winning the FBS National Championship. And that's our goal, right? We win the Mountain West, and that's going to put us on a clear path to be in the CFP, and I'm not going to be content just to get there. I want to go make some noise when we're there. And so to have someone who has that experience, you can lean into that a little bit, and that's something that the players can lean into as well. There you go.
What ways did Jayden show leadership and give confidence to his teammates that he's the one leading them through?
Again, it started with his individual standard that he kept and buying into our way of doing things, and the amount of time that he spent learning the playbook to then have the knowledge to where, a young man like Donovan Brown, who's learning as well, if Jayden has the information and he can give that information so then Donovan can have success, then that allowed the whole offense to have success, right? It's one thing to lead and to exhibit the standard, but a true leader takes others on the journey with them, right? So by him getting the ball, him knowing what's going on around him and being the conductor, of making this whole symphony sing, he's making those around him better. And it's just little things, right? We had a misalignment on a motion today, and he has the wherewithal to, all right, hey, easy, this isn't right. Sets the formation so that we can have a successful play and limit those self-inflicted wounds. And the whole offense and the whole program is better because of that, because that productive play counts, and it's not a wasted rep, right? And that's something, those pre-snap penalties that we've been very, very intentional about being corrected, from a year ago.
Understanding that there's probably some secrets that you don't want to give away as it regards to Bert Emanuel Jr. and how you'll incorporate him in the offense. What can you tell us about what his role might look like if it's under center, in different roles elsewhere on the field, split out wide?
Yeah, well, first and foremost, Bert's a quarterback that we believe in within our program, right? And he's got multiple years to play, so we're going to pour into his development as a quarterback and making sure that his training and his progression and his development as a quarterback, right, is exactly such. And he's a snap away, right? And so making sure that he's prepared in that regard. And then as we, move forward, again, those are decisions, for another time and another place, and, conversations that need to be had prior to getting there. But again, he's an exciting playmaker that we've seen in a lot of different ways that can impact the game with his arm and with his legs and with his skill set. So, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it, right? But again, I've said it before, if the really, really good playmakers in any three phases are standing next to me while the play's going on, we're both having the same amount of impact on the game. That's not good ball. That's not good coaching, right? And so we're going to find a way to incorporate all our playmakers, Bert being one of them, the right way into the game plans.
You said around this time last year that it's typically year two, I think, between
games 4 and 6.
4 and 6.
Yes, sir.
Feel like you're on that trajectory, and then how does some turnover, even if you feel like the talent level's growing, there's some turnover.
Sure.
How does that impact all that, and how do you think you are in that path?
Yeah, I feel like we're in a good spot, right? And regardless of how I feel, it doesn't matter. My feelings are irrelevant. We got to get this thing rocking and rolling, and again, the expectations that we have and the standard that we have for the way that we're going to play in all three phases is extremely high. And so I want to be right, and I want to be right now.
Brown fans played like 4 times at the end of practice.
Yes, yeah, we played at the end of every single song, right? I had a little 1-minute situation there, so it was just rolling, it was going. That's an ode to my mentor and Coach Babers, who that was his tradition that I brought with me everywhere we go. And at the end of the day, guys, like, we're living in paradise, and whatever happened on that field, right, like, I feel good to be where we are, to do the work that we get to do, and most importantly, who we get to do it with. I mean, so it's just a simple reminder, selfishly, for myself with all the things that are going on, right? Like, pretty blessed to be stressed.
So you obviously have quite a few players who have stayed home in San Diego, Lucky Sutton, Trey White, and quite a few more. How is it seeing them be able to show out in front of their San Diego fans?
Yeah, I mean, it's been a priority for us since day one, right, to keep the best players in San Diego home, right? Like, we've referred to our hometown heroes quite a bit. I think it was about a week ago, you know, someone asked, like, hey, you got X number of San Diego guys on the roster, and what's that mean? And it's like, well, it means what we say, and we say what we mean, right? Like, we intended on keeping our best guys here out of the high school ranks. And, you know, in this day and age that we live in, right, like, I intend on keeping our best players on our roster. Like, retention of our talent is always going to be the biggest priority, and being able to keep our local talent home so the fans who have supported them on Friday nights, right, can now come on a Thursday night, right, week one, you know, and this week as well to FanFest. But I think that's going to it's just going to help continue to drive more Aztec fans to Snapdragon Stadium, right? And again, like, I'm not real smart, but I know I'm a better ball coach, and I got really, really good players, and it's one of the most attractive things about this opportunity when I was looking at it many, you know, years ago now, that we don't have to go very far to recruit great kids, right? And to get talented players. We have a plethora of it in our backyard, and so we're gonna put a priority on it and continue to put a priority on it. And, you know, when it's all said and done, the majority of our roster should be from Southern California, and then we go cherry pick, you know, all the other areas that we need to.
Can you talk briefly about the tight ends, the guy you have coaching them, and then their role in the offense?
Yeah, so the tight ends are really the transformers of our offense, right? They got to be able to do a little bit of everything. They got to be able to flex out and act like a wide receiver. They got to be able to, you know, put their hand in the dirt and be an extension of the offensive line. And then they got to be cerebral football players, because they got to be tied into everything that's going on within the run game and pass pro. So we put a bunch on their plate. They're a bunch of really, really smart guys. And then obviously when you have a gentleman like Coach Lindley, right, with his depth of knowledge and him being able to see the game from multiple positions, from his coaching experience, but then also having operated it from the quarterback position, I think he does an unbelievable job of caring for his guys first and foremost, right, and then passing along the knowledge of information. But Coach Lindley does an unbelievable job of showing his guys how much he cares, right, and then because of that, then they want to know, okay, well, what do you know, and how can you make me a better player, right? And he coaches them really, really hard, but he loves on them really, really hard, and obviously he has tremendous pride in this program, and I've leaned on him, you know, in quite a bit of ways, right, in terms of learning about the proud traditions of being here on the Mesa. And you know, I've leaned on him and Coach Schmidt and Coach Gorder and Coach Spalding and all the guys who, you know, have played here, right, and truly given blood, sweat, and tears to restore pride in this program, and to you know, utilize their knowledge and the history that they have to make this thing, you know, go and get it back to where we need to.
Any particular players in that room you're looking for big reach?
Yeah, Seth Adams, who's right behind you, I believe you guys are going to talk to, a.k.a. the Boogeyman. He's going to have a huge year. Jackson Ford behind him as well. And then we have 2 really good young ascending players in that room, and Arthur Ban and Ryan Wolfer as well. All 4 of them have done a tremendous job this camp. All 4 of them have a different set of skills, which is unique to each of them, which makes it really, really fun as a play designer and as a play caller to utilize their skill sets. And, you know, the really cool thing about each of them is that they know who they are. Like, you guys are going to get a chance to talk to Seth, and he knows exactly who he is, and he's exactly what we needed, and he's injected some great personality that our offense desperately needed. And, you know, so it's a little bit weird for me to see him in his jersey, because usually he's just in his wife beater and his blender shades and everything. But he's got a style all his own, and he's got a unique set of play that, again, I'm excited to utilize to give him great success this year, and which will in turn, you know, have our offense be super successful.
I mean, I was pretty excited hearing it. It doesn't really change too much. My process isn't going to change day to day. I'm going to keep on doing what I've been doing since I've been here, keep on getting better every day. So, yeah, pretty excited, though.
What skill set do you bring to the Mesa?
Just I'm able to run, I'm able to throw. I feel like I'm a good decision maker, and the biggest thing this year is just be able to control the offense, lead the offense, and win some football games. That's my biggest goal.
How did Sean give you the news?
After the meeting, our position meetings yesterday, him and Coach Maddie just sat me down and talked to me and told me after that.
What was that conversation like? Anything in particular that stuck out from it?
Just he's loved how I attacked my work since I've been here, and they were going to go ahead and make me the starter. That's pretty much how the conversation went.
How satisfying is it to have this come to fruition and come from a place like Michigan where you're around, but didn't have an opportunity like this to now move into this sort of role?
I mean, it's amazing. It's exactly what I came here for. Came here to win some football games and play and be able to showcase my talent. So it's what I've been waiting for while I haven't been here. Now I'm here, so I'm ready to do it.
Does this change? What are the next couple weeks now between now and Stony Brook look like? Does it change anything for you, just kind of going forward and being in this position now?
Nah, it doesn't change anything. Every day I'm going to continue my pre-practice routine and continue the way I watch film and break down. Eventually Stony Brook when we start breaking them down. But I'm going to continue to be the same person and attack every day.
What sense of responsibility of leadership do you have over the program now as a starting quarterback?
Just controlling the offense, make sure everybody's on the same page, making sure the O-line's on the same page, receivers on the same page, and make sure we move as a unit and we ultimately just score a lot of points. That's my goal.
A lot of fans will get to see you play at FanFest tomorrow. What should fans expect out of your level of play?
Should be pretty good. I'm going to attack tomorrow just like I attack every day. So.
Can you talk about your O-line and how you've established a relationship and the kind of relationship any good quarterback has to have with their offensive line?
So I think the relationship with my O-line is amazing. I think my relationship with the entire offense is amazing, but from Ross, Bio, Christian, Cy, Joe, to every O-lineman that we have, I feel like Dallas, feel like we have a great relationship. I hang out with those guys all the time, and those guys are going to be able to do a great job. They've done a great job all camp with protecting me, and I feel like I've had time. So I'm really excited for this year, and we're going to get it done.
Alluded to it, but how difficult is the decision to transfer from a place like Michigan, knowing you think you get an opportunity here, but you don't know for sure?
It's just like anything. I feel like you're taking a chance coming here, this program, back at home in California. I love Coach Lewis and his offense and his mindset and everything that we talked about when I was in the portal. So it was different. It was a new experience for me getting in the portal, coming from Michigan back home to California. But I love my decision, and I'm very happy that I came here.
What is your leadership like? Like, how do you serve as a leader not only on the field but off the field as well?
I'm just a guy anybody can talk to. I mean, anybody on the team come talk to me. I'm not a super mean person or anything like that. Any guy can come to my house, come eat with me. So I feel like just being a people person, being able to relate to anybody in different backgrounds, I feel like that's a pretty good way off the field.
What do you think we'll learn about the way you run an offense, your skill set, once we actually get to see you in the real thing?
Say that one more time?
What do you think we only get to see so much of you, before obviously the season starts.
Yeah.
What do you think we'll learn, or what do you hope we'll learn about Jaden Denegal, the starting quarterback, once the 28th rolls around?
That this whole offense, and he's an explosive player. That's what I hope to show.
Reaction from your family and friends when they heard that you're going to get started?
They were excited, but they know that I've been working for the past 3 years to get on the football field and showcase my talent. So it's what I wanted, and I was able to work hard enough to get it. So we're going to keep on putting in work and try and showcase on Saturdays.
What have you seen from Bert, and how do you expect him to still have an impact on this offense?
I mean, Bert's a great guy. I mean, Bert, since I've been in, we've been hand in hand, and he's a great quarterback, and he's continued to push me every day, and I continue to push him every day. An elite athlete, but Bert's my guy, and he's going to continue to push me, and I'm going to continue to push him. So it's not going to change day to day. We're competing against ourselves just to be the best football player we can be ourselves,